Hello everyone, so welcome to our class today. So before we proceed, so let's have a prayer. So may I request Fiona to please lead us the prayer. Amen. So good morning everyone. How are you today? Oh, that's good to hear. So class, please be seated. So before I proceed, let me check first your attendance. Okay? So when I call your name, say present. So very good. So now you have a perfect attendance, class. So continue that so that I have a prize in your closing. Okay? That is good. So again, I want to remind you our 5 classroom rules. Okay? So our first classroom rules is listen when others are talking and don't talk when you are not called. Very good. So when your teacher is discussing in front, don't talk in your seatmate. Okay? Just listen. Am I understood? Very good. So our second is behave and sit properly. I don't want you to run and walk inside the classroom while I am discussing our lesson. Okay? Very good. Be respectful to your teachers and classmates all the time. So when you want or when you are talking to your classmates, don't say bad words, don't shout. Also to your teachers, okay? And not also in our teachers and classmates, but also to the other people, okay? Very good. And the number 4 is raise your hand when you have the questions and concerns so that I can notice you and answer your questions and concerns. Okay? Am I clear? Very good. And the last one is say excuse me ma'am when you go outside. Okay? Excuse me ma'am when you want to go to comfort room or when you want to buy foods. Okay? Is that clear, class? Very good. So now, before I forgot, may I request Ken to please collect all the assignments and pass here in front. Okay, thank you. So to proceed is, when we have a short recap for our lesson yesterday. So, what was our lesson yesterday, class? Yes, Sarah? Very good. So our lesson yesterday was all about evaluate narratives based on how the author developed the elements, setting characters, heroes, and villains. So how did the author develop the elements and settings characters, class? So anyone from the group? Yes, Arman? Good idea. How about in this group? Yes, Jumila? Very good. So the author developed the elements in settings character by the use of descriptive, narrative, and actions. So that is right, class. So and the last is, can you differentiate the hero and the villains? Can you differentiate, class, the hero and the villains? Yes? In this group? Yes, Janice? Brilliant idea. How about in this group? Yes, Fiona? Oh, very good. So the hero is have a power, a good person, and a protagonist in the story, while the villains is the enemy, the antagonist, and a bad person in the story. So that's the differences between hero and the villain. So very good, class. So thank you for your answers, okay? So let's have an activity. So I will divide you into 5 groups and then let's have an activity. So our activity is entitled Complete Me, okay? So our instruction is using the given pictures of the story, complete the missing letters to form words, okay? Write the correct answers on the board. Then the first group will first finish, write their answers on the board, will have a prize. So are Are you excited? Very good. I like that energy, class. Very good. So, the group 1 here, group 2, group 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So, congratulations to group 1. You are the winner today. So, you have a prize. So, congratulations again. So, other group, please better luck next time. Okay? So, yun. So, let's proceed. So, please stay on your group, okay? Please stay on your group so that we have our next activity. So, our next activity is observe the story. So, our story is entitled Legend of the Pineapple. So, our instruction is read the 3 different forms of the story, then discuss your observations by answering the questions, and after 5 minutes, you are going to choose 1 representative to report your answer. Okay? That is good. So now class, let's answer the following questions. Okay? So what did you observe in the 3 different forms of the story? Do the 3 have differences? The representative of group 1, please answer. Very good. How about the group 2? That's nice idea. How about the 3? Brilliant idea. How about the 4? Very good. And 5? Very good also. So let's clap our hand, class. So you have a good participation today. So the 3 different forms of the story is the first form of the story is it have a complete events, the beginning, the middle, and the end. While the second one is begin in the middle, while the third is only the imagination or the memories of the mother of Pina. Very good, class. So let's proceed. So to proceed our discussion today, class, so this is our reading objectives. So at the end of the lesson, class, the learners should be able to identify the different narratives, structures used in a story, analyze the given story, and write a narratives using the elements of plot. And the last one is evaluate narratives based on how the author developed the elements, plot, the chronological, sequential, in medias res, and flashback. So you are going to first identify what is the narratives, that is narrative structures used in the story. So you are going to identify that. And second is you are going to analyze the story that you are going to analyze you are going to analyze the given story, then you are going to write a narratives using the elements of plot. Okay? And the last one is you are going to evaluate, okay? To evaluate or to judge the narratives based on how the author used the 3 narrative techniques, which is the chronological, sequential, the in medias res, and then the flashback. So very good. So our topic is all about evaluate narratives based on how the author developed the elements, plot, chronological, sequential, in medias res, and flashback. So let's first discuss what is narrative. So, do you read story, class? Very good. So, when you are reading the story, class, is it a novel? Is it a narratives, or is it a journal? Oh, that's good to hear. So, when we say narratives class, it is the account of events, experiences, and details of story. So, it is a series of events which lead to an understanding of a story. So, when we say narratives, it is where the story being right, okay, the accounts of events. So, the events that being said in the story, okay, that is narratives. Well, the plot is, when we say plot, it is a sequence of related events in the story and generally constituted by three main stages: beginning, middle, and end. So that's the three main stages of the plot in the story, okay? So, but in this time, we are going to focus on the three narrative techniques, okay? The chronological, sequential, the medias res, and the flashback. So, this is the three ways on how to evaluate narratives, okay? So, the first is chronological sequential. When we say chronological sequential, it is a narrative techniques in which the story has a beginning, middle, and end, okay? It is a step by step on how the events being steps in the story, okay? Very good. It has a complete events. In chronological sequential, it has a complete events, okay? It has a beginning, it has a middle, and end. A complete events. In medias res naman is a narrative technique in which the story starts in the middle without beginning. In medias res is a Latin phrase, okay? In other words, in medias res is a Latin phrase meaning in the middle of things, that refers to a narrative that begins in the middle of the action rather than at the beginning. So in other words, the in medias res don't have a beginning. So it begins in a middle of the actions, just like for our example in our activity, okay? Just like for our activity earlier, okay? Very good. So how about the flashback? Number 3. So anyone, do you have any idea what is flashback? Yes, Ken? Good idea. How about in this group? Yes, Kyla? Very good. So the flashback in the character, in the narrative is that it is a technique in which the story has an interruption, okay? The current story to show a scene from the past. It's like hitting the rewind button on a story to provide background information, context, or reveal important details about characters or events. It's like you are in the middle of actions, but you remembered something. So that's flashback. You imagine something that makes you laugh. You remembered something that it is embarrassing moment. So that's flashback. Okay. So is the 3 narrative techniques understood? Very good. That's good to hear, class. So here I provided an example story for you to really understand our topic, okay? The example is Biag ni Lamang. So I have here a hard copies, class. I have here a hard copies for your reference. So yun. So please collect and pass in your classmates. So in our example is Biag ni Lamang. So here you can see that in chronological sequential, it has a beginning, middle, and end. Okay? Middle and end. While in medias res, it starts in middle and end. While the flashback is, in the flashback, in the legend of Lamang, it occurs when Lamang dreams about his father, Don Juan. Okay? So, did you understand our lesson, class? Very good. So, now let's proceed. So, in our activity, its title is It's Your Time. Okay? It's your time if you really understand our topic today. So, our activity is divided into two, the part 1 and part 2. So, our part 1 is identification. Okay? So, our instruction is identify the correct narrative technique, draw a line to match the narrative technique to the text provided. You will given 5 minutes to answer and do it individually. Okay? So, I have here a hard copies. So, please pass and answer. And are you finished? Very good. So, please, Romaika, collect and proceed. We can proceed to our part 2 activity. So, our part 2 is you are going to analyze the given story and write a narrative techniques using in medias res and flashback. Okay? Only 2 elements, only 2 narrative techniques you are going to do, not including the chronological sequential. Okay? So, for our criteria for writing, so please read our criteria. So, I have here also the hard copies for your second activity or for your part 2 activity. So, let's proceed. So, class, because we are done with our discussions and our activities, so let's have, or I have the questions for you, okay? So, please participate and answer, okay? So, first is, what did you learn in our activities? Yes? Kayla? Oh, very good. So, according to Kayla, she learned that the chronological sequential has a beginning, middle, and end. The in medias res is only the middle and end without a beginning. While the flashback is the memories or, yes, the memories that going in your mind when you are in the middle of the action. So, very good. So, how did you evaluate or differentiate the 3 narrative techniques developed by the author? So, anyone from the group. So, how did you evaluate? How did you evaluate or differentiate the 3 narrative techniques developed by the author? Yes, Arman? Very good. How about in this group? That's good to hear. So, our last is, how these narrative techniques help you in writing a story in real-life situations, class? So, how it will help you in writing a real-life situations? Yes, Shane? Good idea. How about in this group? Boys at the back. Yes, Harold? Very good answer. So we can, the narrative techniques help us in writing a story in real life situations by writing it all in a one paragraph, by providing the 3 narrative techniques, the chronological, sequential, the in medias res, and the flashback. It adds beauty to the story and it will create a critical thinking. It will create impact to the readers and help them appreciate the beauty of the story. Okay, very good. So, we have a quiz. Okay, so are you ready for our quiz, class? Very good. So that's good to hear. So, instruction. So, read each question carefully, then choose the correct answer and write the corresponding letter with the capital letters before each number in the space provided. Okay? With capital letters, class, don't forget, before each number in the space provided. So, I have here a hard copy. So, please pass and pass. So, Are you done, class? Okay, thank you. So, please, may I request Fiona to collect and pass here in front. So, because we are done with our activity and our lesson class, so let's have an assignment, okay? So, our assignment is you are going to write your own story that happened in your life. Apply the 3 narrative techniques, okay? You're going to apply the 3 narrative techniques in your story: the chronological, sequential, the immediate stress, and the flashback. So write on one whole sheet of paper, then submit it tomorrow. So for your reference, please read the criteria of our assignment, okay? So here's our criteria. So are we all good, class? Very good. So thank you for your participation today, class. So I appreciate all your efforts and all your answers. So once again, so for the group, for other group, better luck next time because tomorrow we have also an activity. So congratulations again for group 1. So you are the winner today. So thank you everyone and goodbye, class.